The rise and fall of Joe Exotic, once a flamboyant zoo owner and self-proclaimed Tiger King, rose to fame with his charismatic personality, love for exotic animals, and eccentric lifestyle. However, behind the colorful facade lay a story of ambition, rivalry, crime, and personal downfall. His journey from a small-town boy to a global sensation and then to a convicted felon is both compelling and cautionary. The early days, humble beginnings. Joe Exotic, born Joseph Allen Maldonado Passage in Garden City, Kansas, grew up in a conservative family that struggled to accept his identity. He faced rejection, both as a gay man and as someone with unconventional aspirations. Despite these challenges, Joe found solace in animals, particularly exotic ones. This love would later shape his life in unimaginable ways. Joe's early adult years were marked by tragedy. A devastating car accident left him physically and emotionally scarred, pushing him to reevaluate his purpose. During his recovery, he became fascinated with exotic animals, which led him to establish the Greater Wynwood Exotic Animal Park in Oklahoma. This zoo became his sanctuary, where he could care for tigers, lions, and other wild animals while entertaining visitors, building an empire. Joe's natural charisma and passion for animals helped him build a loyal following. His zoo thrived, attracting families, wildlife enthusiasts, and curious adventurers. However, it was his personality that truly set him apart. Joe Exotic was larger than life, sporting a bleached mullet, flashy outfits, and a penchant for drama. Beyond the zoo, Joe expanded his brand through unconventional means. He launched a YouTube channel where he shared his life with his audience, showcasing his animals and airing his grievances. His self-produced country music videos, complete with tigers and dramatic storytelling, further cemented his reputation as a showman. For a time, Joe Exotic seemed unstoppable. He was the king of his own jungle, basking in the attention of fans and the media. The rivalry with Carole Baskin, Joe's rise to fame, also brought him enemies, none more prominent than Carole Baskin. Carole, the owner of Big Cat Rescue, was a staunch animal rights activist who campaigned against private ownership of exotic animals. She accused Joe of exploiting his animals for profit and lobbied to shut down his zoo. What began as professional criticism quickly escalated into a personal vendetta. Joe retaliated by mocking Carole on his YouTube channel, creating music videos that accused her of sinister acts, and even using her name in tasteless public stunts. The feud became a central part of Joe's identity, fueling his ambition and ultimately contributing to his downfall. The downfall begins. As Joe's obsession with Carole grew, his life and business began to spiral out of control. Financial troubles mounted as lawsuits from Carole and other organizations drained his resources. His erratic behavior alienated his staff and friends, leaving him isolated. Desperate to maintain his zoo and take revenge on Carole, Joe became involved in a conspiracy that would seal his fate. In a moment of poor judgment, he attempted to hire a hitman to harm Carole Baskin. Unbeknownst to Joe, the individual he contacted was working as an informant for federal agents. The plot unraveled quickly, leading to Joe's arrest. In addition to the murder-for-hire charge, he faced multiple counts of wildlife violations, including the illegal killing of tigers and falsifying records. The trial and conviction. Joe Exotic's trial was a media spectacle. Former allies testified against him, revealing shocking details about his actions and state of mind. Prosecutors painted him as a man driven by greed, revenge, and a disregard for the law. In 2019, Joe was convicted on 17 federal charges, including 2 counts of murder for hire. He was sentenced to 22 years in federal prison. The man who once ruled a kingdom of exotic animals now found himself behind bars, stripped of his empire and freedom. Life in prison and reflection. Joe's incarceration marked the end of an era, but not his story. From prison, he continued to maintain his innocence and seek a pardon. The Netflix documentary series Tiger King, Murder, Mayhem, and Madness brought his story to a global audience, sparking debates about animal rights, justice, and morality. Despite the public fascination, Joe's life in prison has been a stark contrast to his flamboyant past. He reflects on his mistakes and the consequences of his actions, acknowledging the cost of his ambition and vendettas. The rise and fall of Joe Exotic is a tale of ambition unchecked by responsibility. It's a story of a man who climbed to the heights of fame, but allowed rivalry and desperation to lead him astray. Joe Exotic's journey serves as a reminder of the thin line between success and self-destruction, and the price one pays when the pursuit of power eclipses compassion and reason. Today, Joe Exotic remains a polarizing figure, a symbol of both the allure and the dangers of living life on the edge.